Like, why would you just create a blog when you could create a blog that actually makes money?
Real money.
That's what I was thinking. If that's also your thought process, then I think you will enjoy this top to bottom blog simple framework review. Hey there, if you stumbled across this review, chances are you have looked into the course and you have a few questions. You might be wondering why you would choose Blog Simple Framework over other blogging courses. You might be wondering whether it's legit, who this Scripps person is, whether it's really worth the investment. These are all questions that I wondered before I became a member of the BSF family a few years ago. Luckily for you, this video is going to answer all of those questions and more. There are going to be 3 parts to this Blog Simple Framework review, and then I am going to let you know how you can get a taste of BSF for free. So make sure you watch through to the very end. Before we get started, you might be wondering whether a blog is a good idea, period. Is 2020 too late to start a blog? Is blogging dead? The answer is no, it's not. Someone wants and needs to hear what you have to say, and somebody's preferred form of taking in information and consuming content might be through the written word. So yes, you can start a blog. No, it is not too late. And yes, you can make money blogging. That is exactly what Paul Scrivens, aka Scripps, teaches in his Blog Simple Framework course. Now, I enrolled in this course back when it was called Dare to Conquer, but don't get bogged down in the name. Still the same core and essence of what he was teaching. So today I want to address why I chose Blog Simple Framework over every other blogging course out there, and how BSF has not only helped me transform my blog, but also transform my business. How I was able to get a podcast out of it, a YouTube channel out of it, how I was able to expand my blog into a multi-channel platform. But first I want to know, have you ever taken a blogging course before? Hands up emoji in the comments if you have, and let me know what kind of course it was, and hands crossed emoji if you have not ever taken a blogging course before. That's cool too. First, why I chose Blog Simple Framework or Dare to Conquer over the other blogging courses that are out there, and what are some of my favorite aspects of Blog Simple Framework. So here's the background story. I launched my blog Lazy Millennial in 2018, but I had actually begun the hunt for a blogging course 3 months before I actually launched the blog. I've always been a huge believer in learning from other people who are more experienced than me in a certain area. And so I wanted to invest in a relationship where I felt like someone had the experience in blogging that they could use to teach me, so that I did not have to recreate the wheel. I do not believe in recreating the wheel. Based on my research, I ended up purchasing 2 blogging courses, but neither one was as comprehensive as what I was looking for. That's not to say that there wasn't helpful information there. The information was helpful, but I was not at a point in my blogging journey where I knew how to apply the information that was given to me. For example, in those other courses, there was guidance on affiliate marketing, but I didn't feel like I was at a point where I could implement affiliate marketing without having the traffic to my blog. And the course didn't focus on traffic. It focused on affiliate marketing and other ways of monetizing your blog. While I had some of the information I needed, I didn't have all of the information I needed. And that is what led me to Dare to Conquer, now known as Blog Simple Framework. I realized that what I needed was the
ground up education in blogging.
And that's what I got from that course. If you go to the blog post that I wrote about this, my Blog Simple Framework review on the Lazy Millennial blog, you can see some of the numbers that I was working with, like as far as my email list before I joined the course and then after I joined the course and implemented a lot of Scripps teachings. Some of my absolute favorite aspects of Blog Simple Framework, number 1 is what I just talked about, the comprehensiveness. I have never, literally ever felt like I needed to buy another blogging course again, because all of the information that I need to build a profitable blog is present in Blog Simple Framework. So right there, I'm saving money because this is the only investment I have to make in this blog as far as education goes ever again. Number 2 is the community. If you have been researching Blog Simple Framework for a while, you may have heard about the BSF Slack community. It's actually called the Odd Noodle Slack community. Odd Noodle is like the family of courses that Scripps offers, and Blog Simple Framework is a part of that family. So the Odd Noodle Slack is like, I don't even know how to describe it to you. It's just such a beautiful place to be able to come together and talk to other people about the highs and lows of blogging. If you have a blog, you know that other people in your life might not be as enthusiastic or excited about your blog as you are. So when you are talking to them about the highs, the lows, the successes, the failures, you aren't necessarily getting that same interaction or reaction or dialogue that you're looking for. That is exactly what you get in Slack. In addition to getting guidance from Scribs, who is directly involved on a daily basis in there answering questions and providing advice, you also get the camaraderie of thousands of other bloggers on all types of different topics, and you get their insight, you get their input. People challenge each other to do blogging related activities that might make them a little comfortable, but it's great because it helps you grow in different areas that you need to improve upon to make your blog as successful as it can be. I literally cannot say enough about the Slack community, and I truly believe that even if you purchase Blog Simple Framework only for that community, that it is 100% worth it, 110% worth it. I feel like I've been rambling on, so if you want to see my other favorite things about the course, go to the blog post. There are 3 other aspects I talk about that I really like about that course. Moving on though to the second point, what have I been able to do with Blog Simple Framework? How have I been able to transition from just a blog to an actual business? When I started the Lazy Millennial blog, I wanted to provide tips on creativity, productivity, and money making. I wanted to do this so that fellow multi-passionate millennials could have the tools that they needed to build a creative and profitable life that they absolutely love. Not tolerate, not like, not kind of deal with, but a life that they absolutely love. That was my goal. So when I started the course, Blog Simple Framework, or Dare to Conquer, that was my perspective. I was focused on not just building a blog, but building a community. And with the resources in Blog Simple Framework, that's exactly what I've been able to do. I was able to grow the blog from just a blog to a blog and a podcast, and then to a blog and a podcast and a YouTube channel. And all of those elements are continuing to grow today as the Lazy Millennial community builds. These platforms are thriving because of the principles I learned in Blog Simple Framework. Last thing, how can you get a sense of Scribs' teaching style without spending any money up front? So you might be a researchaholic like I am. I totally get that you are looking for as much information as possible before you make a purchase. I'm hopeful that this video, as well as the blog post I mentioned, give you some deep insight into whether or not this would be a good investment for you. But there are 2 additional resources I want to point you to that will definitely help you make a decision. The first is the Master Blogging Workshop. It's a 45-minute video, a recorded video. It's not live, so there's no like sales things at the end. It's just a video, y'all. It's just a video. But that video is where Scribs gets into what you need to know in order to lay the foundation for a 6-figure blog or a blog that makes money. The workshop basically tells you everything you need to do, and then the course builds on that workshop by actually guiding you through that process. The second resource is Scribs' Blog Simple Guide, which is a hella long, super detailed, juicy PDF about everything blogging that you could possibly imagine. Both of these resources are free and will give you some insight into the way Scribs teaches and his thought process around blogging, which is different than any other blogging course creators that I have encountered. I linked the Master Blogging Workshop and the Blog Simple Guide in the description box as well, so that you can just click there and get a sense of whether or not this Blog Simple Framework investment is something that you want to make. By the way, I'm Multipassionate Meg. I'm a public health pharmacist, entrepreneur, copywriter, and podcaster. I help multi-passionate millennials like myself find focus through content strategy so that you can finally start profitable businesses. And if you want to stick around, go ahead and subscribe to the Multipassionate Meg YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so that you know when I'm back in these YouTube streets, which is every Sunday, by the way.